All right, so it's time to bring in our next piece of paper. So I'm going to unclip my drawings. I'm going to grab that bottom sheet, number 3, and place it on top. Tap, 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 tap. Put my clips back on, just a couple of finger winks from the edge. Same thing here. That edge registration is working okay. And so now my next drawing, the page is on the top. I can go like this. I can start to flip my drawing. So I'm just tucking my fingers in between the sheets and rolling like this, back and forth, so I can see the action. Nice and simple. So this drawing here, I'm going to have him taking off, firing forward. So I've done this anticipation back. Pull this drawing out of the way. So here's my character. And you can see he's sort of doing this crouch down. The head is making this arc. So now I'm just going to continue. The head sort of makes a move like this. So I'm going to have it move in an arc, which is again another animation principle. Have his head end up there. I'm going to stretch that head a little bit. So it gets a little longer, but it's still maintaining volume. Same thing with his body. His body's stretching. That foot. Now what I'm doing here is I'm flipping and I'm using what's called persistence of vision to retain a memory of where the previous drawing was, so that I can draw the things that I don't want to move, duplicating the previous drawing. Now, you can also use a light table, commonly used in classical animation, where you can see through to the next drawing. Although most animation classically being done these days is being done with digital 2D animation software. And so the light table is sort of built into the software, but they don't actually shine lights through paper anymore. Let's see. Stretching my character, maintaining volume. Stretching those arms out. Got to maintain proportions, so I'm just looking at up above here. I don't want his leg to look like it's stretching far. I have to lift this foot up a little bit more. He's lost a bit of volume from my original drawing there, so I just gotta chonk him up a little bit. Can't decide whether I want his arm to go swinging forward or down. Let's see here. say here. I need additional breakdowns for this one, but I'm just going to have to live with what I got here. Darken down those lines that I know I want to keep. Here, sticking up. Let's try that. Flip my page, and this here, I'm just going to scritch that out. That's not what he's doing. It's this arm is here, this arm is here. Now, for the cleanup, what would happen? Oftentimes, it's another artist entirely come in, another piece of paper, take this really scratchy drawing that the key animator has done. They would put it in onto this page, like so. Tap, tap, tap. And looking at the character model sheet, they do things to sort of get them back on model. They would tidy up the line quality, only those lines which are necessary. They'd fix ellipses correct in three-dimensional space. They'd fix proportions, like you can see my arm proportion was slightly off there. My other arm had gotten too short. My head had gotten stretched a little too large. So they would go through and basically redraw that drawing much cleaner, much more legible. So if you find that you've got a drawing that you're like, oh my gosh, it's a complete mess, I can't see what's going on, well, you can always just grab another piece of paper and sort of draw over top of it, retrace that drawing with cleaner lines, better clarity. And then once you've got that cleaned up drawing, you just go ahead and take sort of the really scratchy drawing and remove it. So I'm just going to unclip, replace that drawing, my cleaned up version. And again, we're just going to tap, 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 tap. So, and there we go. Just the tip of the ton of information. All